So I've been with a woman that had the lipo.
Okay.
Because I feel like most of the belly buttons, I think they're just starting to master the belly button games, kind of like AI with the fingers.
Right.
They're just not getting it intact.
Yeah.
Because you're looking like, yo, something's not right about your stomach.
Why is it to the left?
Well, no, I just look at it, something's it's like super, super flat.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like you ate like 10 Big Macs, it was super, super flat. And then like the belly button and stuff was like damn near missing. It's like everybody has a super innie like that, whatever.
Right.
Preposterous.
Right.
Poppycock.
Right.
And then I seen women. So I've never been with somebody who had like the ass and stuff like fully done. Now the one woman I seen with the whole lipo, I guess she did do kind of like a BBL thing, but she did the shots.
Okay.
And they weren't the official shots.
Okay.
They were the
Cement?
ones.
The Podical podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Watch your average Joseph. Marvelous.
It's ridiculously funny, but funny.
Hola, I'm Marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. Let's start the show. Like, comment, subscribe to all the above.
All of that.
Podical Sons podcast. Search it up. All streaming platforms. At Podical Sons, all social media, and podicalsons.com for the website.
And don't worry if you forget the on the front. We got you. Either thepodicalsons.com or podicalsons.com. You will find us.
Either or, it's linked right back into the action. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. 2024. It started out all right for me.
That's what's up. I can't complain, man. This is yes, by the time this plays, we are a week plus in. A lot has happened. The week has started. From the last podcast, I had somebody come at me saying like, yeah, you're right about gun control. Because I guess the day they played the podcast, the last podcast was running.
Right.
And there was a school shooting then in Iowa because the kids went back to school and stuff in those neck of the woods.
Yes.
So in Dallas, Iowa, there was a school shooting and I was like, the principal got shot in this process.
The principal got shot?
Yeah. And the principals got shot. And remember last time I was telling you about the whole situation pertaining to them trying to teach the
So I was
going
to ask you if that school had any sort of training or did they mention? No.
That's the school. So the school that was doing the training that I saw
right
in the documentary was from Utah.
Okay.
Utah. But there's other schools and stuff like other states that are schooling and teaching their teachers how to wield guns and commit, I guess, black op exercises.
I mean, that's what
it was a training ground.
It's gonna be like that.
It wasn't a regular type of damn like gun range or something like that.
No,
They're like,
it's like they set it up.
Set a situation and stuff, whatever. You have to shoot a child. I was like, they were taught something else.
That's wild when you really think about how wild that is.
And then you have to look at it like that because this shooter, I don't like to give the shooters and stuff names and stuff like highlights and stuff because I don't want to promote no kind of copycat. But his name was Dylan.
Okay,
just like how Dylan Roof was.
Right. Yeah. He
ended up killing one young boy, a middle schooler, and then he shot 5 others. Sorry, he shot 5 others. One died. One was the teacher and some other students.
Right.
And then he turned the gun on himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it and stuff as where I think it's just the gun control thing. And like in general, we need to try and really focus on the stuff on the American side. But to the user, I know I'm not a fortune teller or a preceded future. If I saw that, I would have saw lotto numbers. It'd have been a different stance.
It would have been a different stance. Yeah, but they really gotta start not just talking about these gun control issues, but actually doing stuff about it.
Yeah, some very, very unfortunate, but like that's a way to start the new year. Yay!
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of fireworks. That wasn't the ones that
Oh shit! Yeah,
we were.
thoughts and prayers to Japan.
Yeah,
They've been shaking it rough from the
it's
earthquake to like the plane catching on fire, and the fire. Japan, hold tight till I come through. Please hold tight till I come through and see you, man.
There's still that bucket list for you.
Yeah. But it's
Mob
just,
needs that bucket list. Come on.
yeah, but like I don't know. It felt like what was it Turkey? Turkey always got hit with earthquakes. Something about that area in Turkey, right?
That area.
Yeah, like Turkey get hit with earthquakes and stuff for fun. That Turkey Syria area. Yeah, I feel it for them and stuff, but we are here, man. What a wonderful world. Before we get to the polls, I want to say thoughts and prayers to Sean Strickland. He's a UFC fighter. He was on Theo Vaughn's podcast this past weekend.
Right. So this is recent then. It was like within the last few days or so?
Yeah. Within the last few, I want to say like less than a week max.
Okay.
He was on. He didn't die. But thoughts and prayers to this man because he's now retelling a story about his childhood and how abusive his father was to Theo on his show.
Right.
And like the setting is kind of like in a bar type setting thing. And to see a MMA fighter just break down and cry we didn't break down and cry like bawl, but like the trauma. And the tears couldn't stop. And he's like, yo, I'm sorry for crying and stuff. And Theo's like, yo, it's okay. He's like, no, it's not. And then he just kept, it was like an awkward 3 to 4 minute, 5 minute pause.
Wow.
Because he's just thinking about all the trauma that his father caused him and his mother.
Yeah.
And I was like, boss, if this happened when you were young and you're an adult now and you're a mixed martial artist, fam, you need therapy. You need to see somebody about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not looking at stuff as like where these tears and stuff are not invalid. First of all, everybody's tears are valid.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at stuff as like, not everybody's worthy of seeing your tears.
I can agree to that.
Because some people really take kindness for weakness.
Yeah.
And then, especially in today's times, vulnerability is a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
So now, I'm not saying people would try him. Some people just try mixed martial arts people for no damn reason.
Right.
But I look at it stuff as where it's more of the essence of the man, where I look at, if you're feeling this type of way from the past, and let's say 20 years plus, you're still feeling this type of way, you need to talk to somebody about it.
I agree.
Because I feel like I rather break down in front of you off camera than to lose my composure during, you know what I'm saying, a recording.
I mean, we said this about maybe a few weeks back when we talked about the whole When Brothers Speak thing. Like that arena we can consider a safe space because people understood what was gonna happen. Like you knew that people were gonna share stuff about what brothers may go through.
Mm-hmm.
And so certain things, even though you might have not seen it coming, you were I would say the type of crowd that was there was like, okay, we feel you, we can rock with you. We're on like a podcast or a setting where, where he broke down. Millions of people are watching this, thousands to millions of people are watching this. And it's just like you say, some people will actually look at that and say, you're a punk. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care whatever you got through. I went through the same thing. Man up, like that sort of thing. And it's like, come at you and make even situations even more worse.
What do you mean make it worse? Well, how would they make it worse?
Well, if they start jumping into like your socials and stuff like that and start calling you like certain names for you breaking down, that's not helpful to your situation.
I'm not saying it is, but I look at it stuff as that you have to choose what you want to fight.
Right.
Because I look at it stuff as, we just spoke about this. Everybody has a fight.
Yes, everybody has a fight.
Everybody has a fight, whatever. And I looked at where, what's the female MC? Scarlett.
Right.
Scarlett she came on, she was live streaming somewhere. She was live streaming on the gram or something like that, whatever.
Yeah.
And she says for herself, she doesn't feel like she's the most attractive female.
Of course.
Whatever, right? But she got bars.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. So there's people on her live stream. Meanwhile, she's live streaming saying, nobody will fuck you. You're not attractive and everything like that. And then she looked at him. She's like, yo, you know, these comments do hurt my feelings.
Right.
They do hurt my feelings with it. But then people are going to, there's going to be some people that's going to be for you and some people that's going to be against you.
Yeah. I
so
agree.
at the end of the day, I look at it stuff as where I rather shed those tears in front of people that's for me.
For you.
To help dry those tears or help point me to a direction where I can get better.
Right.
Compared to people that might be against me.
Right.
And then I have to ask myself, do I choose to address them?
Yeah.
She didn't have to address them.
No, she didn't.
She could have got off live.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she chose to address them. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're there having your moment now and then they're like, oh, you a punk bitch. Oh, you a pussy for crying for my father did divorce and blah, blah, blah. Because I always feel like in today's time, everybody, it's bad poker.
Yeah.
I call it bad poker. Like, oh, I see your trauma story and I'll raise you. I got molested by aliens and stuff at the age of 6 or some shit like that. You look like, we're not comparing bad stories. It's the same thing with sleep. Remember I was telling you, I was like, shit, I only got like 4 hours of sleep. Oh, I only got 3 hours of sleep and I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Why are you championing this? This behavior is beyond me for me to understand. I can't understand it.
Sleep meisters.
It's bad poker meisters, if you want to call it. Why are we comparing bads and stuff for them instead of trying to point each other in the proper direction to get the help or turn the bads into goods?
Right. Right. And I think the argument was we weren't even disagreeing. We were just saying maybe try sleeping a little bit more to see how that affects your performance.
Yeah, but if they can't get to sleep in the first place, though, that's going to be part of the issue, right? So I look at that, but yeah. Sean Strickland, if you ever heard this podcast and stuff, whatever, I hope you get therapy, and hopefully by the time you get to this stuff, it's already good news. Your fans be like, he already is going through a therapist. She's next door to me. That's great too. Like I said, thoughts and prayers to that man, because in trying times and stuff where you're calling regular dudes sassy and zesty and stuff, and you have a mixed martial arts, like a fighter.
Yeah.
A professional fighter.
Yeah.
Out here breaking down. Mike Tyson breaks down on his podcast and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Periodically and everything like that. And that's what I'm saying. But then you guys look at stuff, or most people look at them like, yes, there should be respected people, but regular people can't be going through this, or regular people shouldn't be going through this, or be acting like this. When you have these celebrities, it's okay for them to act like this.
Yeah.
So if somebody's going through some kind of trauma like that where they didn't come up with the best upbringing, if you're an adult past the age of 22, guess what? You could be part of your own solution and stuff where you won't be ridden by this trauma.
Right.
That part. Let's get to the polls, man.
All right, let's get to the polls.
First poll, is segregation really that bad? Now, we had this conversation on another podcast and stuff before, and I kind of brought it back to make it a question. So, is segregation really that bad? The poll said yes. Yes came in at 67%. Tell me how you feel about that.
Like I said before, man, I think, segregation is good in certain aspects. And I'll say it again. It's like separating it but equal is good in my books.
Separate but equal. Yeah. Hive, like-minded individuals I only want to be around.
Right.
Collaboration over competition.
Yeah, and I bet some of those 60%, if they really thought about it, because again, when we thought these questions, they're open-ended. They can go either or. They can have so much meaning to them.
They're
a lot
ethical
of people,
questions.
A lot of people automatically assume that we were probably talking about race.
A lot of people need to, I guess, open their minds. A mind is like a parachute. It works better when it's open. If you just look at the word, that's the reason why most of the questions have like a straight black background with just the Podical Sons logo. It's not to put you in any kind of direction or lead you to astray. This is all onto you. If the first thing is going on in your head is a racial thing, that's in your world. The word segregation can be used on so many other things besides racial indiscrimination. I just look at it stuff as where you know for a fact that if you only want to be by yourself and you don't want to interact with people, guess what? You're segregating yourself from those people. That's one form of segregation.
One form.
If you want to kick it with like your high school friends and nobody else, and these, or like you got your own clique of friends, guess what? That's segregation because you're not giving you a chance to interact and mingle with other people and stuff. So you're getting segregating your high school friends from the other people that could be possibly new friends. Those are different forms of segregation. So if you thought racial, you thought wrong. But if you thought racial and that's your thing, then cool. Did you learn something new about yourself?
Hopefully. It's so funny because how many work cliques are there when you really think about it? Like like people go to work and they only fuck with certain people, and outside of that, they could care less.
Tons, because I look at it stuff as where I had somebody at work tell me that they rock with set person,
right?
Because she feel like they live basically like parallel lives, right?
Right.
We're all the same age, and we can kick it.
Yeah,
but I don't get included into the reindeer games, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And that's fine and stuff there, because again, you might have a higher affinity to somebody else than another. Now, that's a clique.
That's definitely a clique.
That's a clique. And if they interact with each other and stuff off hours and everything like that, I'm pretty sure, let's say, person A and person B has their own squad,
right?
Personal squad and stuff that they rock outside of work,
right?
And person B the same way. But now they might crossbreed people and stuff in each other's worlds now. And now this is your new clique.
Yeah.
Or this person might be joining the other cliques outside the work now.
Yeah. The opposite of that, you might bring cliques together and 2 or 3 people in that clique might be like, I can't rock with those people over there. Leave me with the clique that I'm already in.
True. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. So I look at it stuff as segregation to me still really isn't a bad thing because I only want to be around people that think like me and interact like me. I'm okay to interact and deal with people that don't think like me.
Right.
Do I want them by me so much? Not so much. I can take the time and hopefully they have a lesson instead of like, like a loss to give.
Yeah.
And just keep it pushing.
Keep it pushing.
The next question is, the poll says, where is it better to raise your children, your kids? And suburbs came in at 60% over city. Talk about it. How do you feel about that?
I would like to say suburbs, but I feel like it's good and bad.
So you're
suburbs,
going with city?
Suburbs, they're the way. I'll stick with suburbs. Suburbs, they're away from the distraction. I think they can concentrate a little bit better, but not knowing how the city operates and then venturing off into the city can be an experience in itself. You know what I mean? It's like you may not be able to operate around city folk and be victimized for it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I mean, I would say suburbs, but if you have a little bit knowledge of the city, then pass that on to your kids. Let them understand that it's not anything sweet. And even with the opposite of that, I think like if you're raised in the city and you go out to the suburbs, you can definitely handle your own, but then it might be lackluster for you and you might be uninspired being out there.
Yeah, that's why I said city. I chose city over suburbs because I feel like a lot of the suburb kids that I've seen,
we'll
say for the most part, most of the school shootings and everything like that, to me, from statistics level, they pop up more on a suburban school than they do of a city school. Right?
Right.
I feel like a lot of those suburban schools, they have more of a like a superlative kind of vibe about like geek and chic, jock and all that type of stuff. Cause I think they're more focused on that. When the city kids, they just have more rustle and bustle.
Right.
So it's kind of like you might have one bully or you might have a few bullies, but other than that clique shit, I don't think that might be that serious.
Right.
Because especially, I want to say the time that I grew up in, when I went to the city and stuff, it's kind of like, yeah, you still had like a little group of people.
Right.
And then you might have some people that might be super popular and all the above. But at the end of the day, that wasn't really like the aim, I don't think, because I was once popular.
Right.
And I don't think that was never my aim. And some of my friends and stuff, aim is just living.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then when I went to a suburb school, a school in the suburb, they more focused on like those type of things and stuff like, this person's popular, or you want to talk to this person because this person's popular. I don't give a fuck. Like, I care less.
Right.
I feel like a lot of times the suburb kids watch and try to emulate things that they see on the city.
Yeah.
So I feel like the suburb is not the place to be because this is where they want to try shit until they get to the city,
right,
and flip them on their ass and let them know it ain't sweet over here.
Right, right.
So that's why I feel like the city is a better place because you can take street smarts and education are two different type of things in my world.
Yeah.
So if you take that street smart shit, bring it to the suburbs, it's like, yo, a lot of times most of those people make it. The suburbs going into the city, some of them might not make it.
Yeah,
the city might be too much for them.
As I said, so they, if you're out in the suburbs and you know about the city, then you try your best to educate your child before you send them into the wolves.
Yeah, man. So, facts, man. That was that. Ooh. I know you want to start. I know where you want to start, but we're not gonna start there yet. We're gonna talk Katt. We're gonna talk Katt.
All right, stop
But
Katt.
I finally took in the Scarface Tiny Desk.
Nice. I
really appreciate it.
I appreciated it so much. And Mike Dean on the keys.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I didn't know he got down like that. But I was like, dope.
I appreciate because, and shout out to Juvenile. It's just that the Juvenile one didn't hit as well as the Scarface one because I feel like Scarface is more of a lyrical person.
Right.
And I was always looking for like a lyrical person to kind of come out there. Because remember, more the Tiny Desk before was more singers.
Yeah.
Right? So now when they start adding like rappers and stuff into this repertoire, I was like, okay. Okay. Like I would love a Tiny Desk if Jay-Z was there. But I feel like Jay-Z is too big for a Tiny Desk. And I feel like it's okay, let me say this. Is he too big as an icon or to be an ego thing that is too small for him to do? What do you think?
I think it'd be an ego thing.
You think it'd be an ego thing?
I think it'd be an ego
because
thing.
a person that like sold out shows and arenas and shit like that,
right?
I feel like a Tiny Desk is like too wild for them and stuff, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But let's say this: Hot Boys and that whole Cash Money shit, they sold out arenas too.
This is true.
Juvenile still went.
This is true.
So I look at it stuff like, is it really an ego thing?
With Jay, I still think it's an
ego thing.
I still think it's an ego thing. But I'll be honest with you. I'd love to see Jay backed up by the Roots on a Tiny Desk.
Oh, like how he did the
just like how he did the
Unplug,
right?
The Unplug. Yo, is Jay in your top 5?
Jay's in my top 5.
Who you got in your top 5?
I got Jay, Big Daddy Kane.
You got Kane in there?
I got Kane in there, right? I had Rakim in there, but I placed Nas at number 3. Busta at number 4. And then I had M at 5.
Yeah, M at 5. Kane that high? Why Kane? Give me a hot Kane bar.
Rappers stepping to me. They want to get some, but I'm the Kane, so you know the outcome.
Now that's big. That's basic to me. That's basic. Cause let me say,
you gotta understand. For me, Kane and Rakim were at a point where everything else prior to that was a hip, a hop, a hibby, dibby hop. You don't stop. So when I first heard Kane and Rakim say more than just rhyming words, it was a big thing for me.
But okay. So have you stopped listening to the hip hop? Your answer should be probably no.
No, I haven't stopped listening to hip hop. I'm not in it as much as I used to.
Okay.
But again, I'm looking out for those who are doing stuff with bars. I'm not really into the whole rhyming scheme, and that's why I feel like for me it's digressed because a lot of it is just rhyming schemes. It's no longer a bar thing.
Big Daddy Kane
Mhm.
versus Pusha T.
Kane.
You got Big Daddy Kane over Pusha T.
Yeah. Listen, have you heard I Get Raw?
No.
Listen to I Get Raw.
So give me a bar from I Get Raw to convince me. That sell me why I should buy Kane.
Sell you why you should buy Kane?
Yeah, because I look at this stuff as where a lot of people, like, let's say if I mention Jay and like somebody won't see the reasoning why.
Yeah.
My story and stuff, I'm selling Jay and stuff is what double entendres and triple entendres. I father, I brook and dodge a dem.
Yeah.
I jack, I rob, I sin. Oh man, I'm Jackie Robinson. But I run base, I dodge the pen.
I love me some Jay-Z simply for that fact. Now, not gonna sit here and say I can recite a Kane lyric because mine is not as like it used to. But I can tell you, listen to Raw and Set It Off. Those two tracks for me are like the top two Kane tracks. I like Ain't No Half Steppin'.
Yeah, classic.
I like that. But those two, it's like, okay, no. You're not just spitting it slow on like the Ain't No Half Steppin', but the Set It Off and Raw, it's like, how are you thinking of the stuff that you're thinking and then going at the speed that you're going at to just produce these type of lyrics? And it's like, nah, you're different. And then Rakim, with Rakim, it's more of the style of the. I wouldn't say that he had crazy lyrics. It's more of the style of his delivery. That's why I don't have him in my top 5. But he's there.
You just called Rakim in your top 5. I asked you who's your top 5 and you called Rakim.
I called Rakim?
Yeah, you said Jay, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, Nas, and you said M.
Now I Busta Rhymes. Did I have Busta Rhymes in it?
No.
That I had Busta Rhymes in it. Busta Rhymes would be in my top 5.
Okay. My 5, I got Jay. I got Jadakiss. I got Busta. I got Weezy. And I got J. Cole. And I think a lot of people shit on Cole because I think Cole's not that old. Well, Cole's my age because we were born both in 1985.
Yeah.
And I think somebody got pissed off when I said that, like, yeah, like, as a man, like, from the same age, I can look at this guy. I can look at LeBron and say, LeBron is a hell of an athlete for a 39-year-old.
Right.
Right? And we're the same age. And I there's no without a doubt that LeBron is one of the greats.
Yeah.
Right? And I look at it stuff as like, why would I do anything different if I'm looking at like credibility, discography, lyrical content and stuff? Why wouldn't I put this young man and stuff or this man my age into this group when they're like, oh, there's people older than him and there's people.
But I don't even think, like, for me, when it comes to that stuff, age doesn't really, that's what I'm saying. To me, when it comes to that sort of stuff, age doesn't really matter because
I fight a battle every time I tell people my top 5. Anytime I tell people my top 5, and I always tell them my 6th man is Pusha T.
Right.
They get angry. They did like, what? Just no Eminem in there. And Dr. Umar, I feel like Dr. Umar was part asshole, but then he's a comedian to me, right?
Right.
What is Eminem lyric? Or his Eminem moment on Joe Budden's podcast?
Yeah.
I see where he's coming from.
Yeah, I sort of see where he's coming from.
No, like I see where he's coming from and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
But I look at it and stuff as where I believe, to me, in my heart of hearts, when hip hop was like coming out into the scene, they thought it would have been a fad that was going to eventually disappear.
Right.
And it was kind of like the more people to come play with this fad made it a permanent kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't really care too much that Eminem and stuff is white, but I look at it stuff as where do your lyrics hit home or can I feel those lyrics?
Right.
When you're dropping these similes, these metaphors and stuff, whatever, he does have that.
Yeah.
And you can't disregard and stuff, whatever, that without his, let's say, his credibility and his skill, we probably wouldn't have 50 Cent to this level than what we got. Because I'm not saying 50 was still doing his thing.
Right.
But you need an engine like Eminem and Dre to kind of help push this.
Yeah.
Right? With Dre, you got Snoop, you got Eminem. You got other proteges and stuff too. Like, I'm not saying like Game. There's so many.
Yeah.
That Dre has touched and blessed. But I look at it stuff as like no one out of his proteges has done it like Snoop and M. And M's lyrical game is like phenomenal beyond past Snoop's.
With M's popularity, right?
Okay.
Do you think it's the fact that he was white and then he opened up rap to so much other people because they was like, hey, he's one of us rapping more than his skill?
To majority, yes.
Yeah.
Majority, yes.
Because when I listened to Dr. Umar's argument, that was the basis of the argument that I took away from it.
I look at skill though, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I look at it something like, we got to go at this with skill.
Right.
Right? Because I look at stuff as like the hip hop I was raised on is like, you got to be nicer than the other MC.
Yeah.
That's why when I hear a track with like just two people on there, you still have people who think like me saying like, who flamed this track?
Right, yeah.
Who bodied this track and stuff, whatever. It was that level. It wasn't care about like, because he's white and everything. Like, if we talk about Jay and the Renegade track and stuff, whatever.
No,
we're talking about everybody. And that's what I'm saying.
I think embodied him on that track.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not looking like, he's because he's white.
Right.
He bodied and stuff. I just mentioned to you that Jay-Z is in my top 5.
Right.
And Eminem is not in my top 5.
But even with M though, right? Even like his first stuff like that, I named the Hi, My Name is Shady's, that era.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff was, I consider like shock rap. It's not like I don't think he had like incredible bars. I just think he was just saying shit that people weren't really saying, and that caught the attention of a lot of people. So
I think the pop culture stuff. So I think I always look at stuff when you come with these singles and stuff, whatever, you have to, before there's more of a thought process, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because that's in that time where you needed like a kind of like a pop culture kind of track, not a pop track, a girl track and a club track.
Right.
Right. And I feel like these are the things and stuff that kind of just make the market stuff to the peoples. That album, I forget what it was called, the Marshall Mathers.
Marshall Mathers.
The Marshall Mathers.
Or was it Slim Shady? Was Slim Shady the first one?
I think it was Slim Shady was the first one.
Slim Shady was the first one.
Yeah, Slim Shady was the first one, and Marshall Mathers was the second one. And I looked at it stuff as where like even like Mushrooms or what's the other track with Royce? Bad Meets Evil. Fire.
Right.
This is what happened when Bad Meets Evil hit the trees hard, looking like Vietnamese people.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. And I was like, yeah, it was a comical thing, but then when him and Royce are going at it, whatever, you're looking like, okay, so who's bad and who's evil? Because you're hearing a lot of the quote unquote shock thing, but this was never a public track.
Right.
Right? And I looked at this stuff as like, this is not a mainstream track, but this track still hits better than most of the other tracks stuff on there. I think like Mushrooms and stuff, whatever, was a kind of more gimmicky kind of track. And I didn't really like Mushrooms like that.
Yeah.
But the whole story thing, because you love a storyteller.
You love a storyteller.
When he gave you the whole storytelling thing and stuff of that, I was like, oh shit, white dude got range.
He do love storytelling. That's what I'm saying. Like,
so I don't think it's like just from the racial aspect and stuff. For me, it was Eminem.
Right.
I hold him to regards and stuff for them, like from like lyrics.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have him in my top, like I said, he's in my top 5 because I do appreciate the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I wouldn't put him as like the man in hip hop. And I think that's what Dr. Umar was arguing. He said himself, like, he's not disagreeing that he's got skills. No, and he's got skills.
I still think we don't have the person of hip hop, especially now, is because it's a generational thing.
Right.
And I look at it as stuff as where, and shout out to Lil Yachty, but I look at it as stuff as when people like Lil Yachty is saying, yo, I was born the same year Tupac died, or like around the time after Tupac died.
Right.
Whatever, right? So him growing up, you add 5 years to it, whatever. Some people might not even be spinning a Pac track like that and stuff.
Right.
How is he supposed to put Tupac in his thing, right? In his top 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I look at it's a generational thing where I look at it as like, if you're putting Kane and Rakim, or you're putting Kane in there, like show me the division why that like my generation and stuff is falling in afterwards.
I was watching this this movie series yesterday, and this older cop, he got paired up with a younger cop because something's going on with his head. He keeps blacking out, but he's not telling people that he's blacking out. He's just saying this, that, and the third. So the police chief was like, okay, we're gonna partner you up with somebody just in case, right? So they partnered him up with this young dude, right? So now they show the older cop talking to his wife, and he was like, I can't stand this guy. He doesn't even know one Duran Duran song. And I was thinking about it. I was like, shit. I'm like, yeah, we're in that time where Duran Duran, even though I know him, I might know a few songs, but no, if I go around and ask like my nieces and nephews, they might not know who Duran Duran is.
That part. So that's why I'm looking at stuff is where you have to show me in the generational type of thing why I'm messing with or why should I, like I said, sell me this pen.
Right.
Like tell me why I should be going back to spinning the tracks and stuff, whatever, on set person. Because I look at it stuff as where most of us have streaming platforms where we at least have a YouTube and everything.
Yeah.
I get nostalgic. I play old school 80s songs and all that type of stuff, 70s, 60 tracks. But I look at it stuff as where, why should I spin something that I look at it stuff as where they were kind of like mid bars? Like somebody hit me off and stuff, whatever, with the whole Slick Rick coming in town for Toronto.
Right.
Whatever, right? Now, I've never listened to a full Slick Rick album.
I had Slick Rick as the king of storytelling. I won't say he's I would say he's the best, but definitely that the Great Adventures of Slick Rick. I think that was the blueprint album of like, okay, we're not gonna just do the whole bar you to death. We're not gonna just do the whole gimmicky stuff. We're gonna tell you stories and have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's pretty much his claim to fame. When anybody thinks of story rappers, well, the people who from my generation, when you ask like who's the greatest story rapper, that Slick Rick name usually comes up.
Biggie for us.
Biggie for you.
Well, Biggie for, I want to say it's just a good portion of people that I know.
Right.
Because when we're talking storytelling and stuff, whatever, it's like warning won't not get spin.
Right.
Right? Like by the time now, like you look at it, everybody knows Crop from the barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So who the fuck is this paging me? Everybody knows that. And then what is it? Is it Niggas Bleed? Today's Agenda, Go in the Suitcase and Get the Centra.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you're getting the storytelling and stuff. So we always kind of credited Big to do that. So then now when you get other MCs and stuff from that, whatever now, it's been, I want to say, probably Scarface.
Yeah.
Before Big. And then I can't tell you before Scarface to say Slick Rick. Like that's a big gap. Because I want to say, if we're talking about Ghetto Boys from My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me, to like, then you have Big and stuff, whatever. The storytellers, they do come through, but they're not that precedent and stuff, or some people might dabble in the arts. I call it dabble in the arts, where like they might have one storytelling track and they might not come again.
Right.
Like Black Girl Lost, when Nas did that, whatever, I was like, we're in the art of storytelling times and stuff, whatever. One love,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's how I'm looking at something like, again, before, I mean, I'm not shitting on Slick Rick, because Slick Rick is still great.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at it stuff as where if Slick Rick was doing this from, okay, I'm born in 85.
Right.
When did this drop Body Work come out? 88.
Yeah, I would say 87, 88.
Put 5 years on it for me to say like, oh, I can remember a song and stuff, whatever like that.
Yeah,
right?
nah, definitely. It's
that's
like,
why
by the time you started listening to hip hop, that was probably already considered old school.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that without a doubt. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
So who's the villain of the week? Crazy Katt Williams or Fat Joe Jada Pinkett Smith?
Keeping him up when I first saw the picture, I was thinking either Daddy Yankee
Or Pitbull?
Or Pitbull. That's who first came to my mind before Slim Fat Joe.
No, I thought it was Slim Fat Joe.
You thought it was Slim Fat Joe?
On a stack of Bibles, man. Because I looked whatever, because I'm like, damn, Joe out here losing weight. And I was like, wait, he cut the goatee? I'm like, oh, shit. I was like, and then I felt like a dirtbag. And then I know people like, oh, this guy, he's always picking on Jada and everything like that. And I'm good with Jada. I've made peace with Jada.
I've made peace with Jada. If Will made peace with Jada, I've made peace with Jada. If
Will wants his wife to be happy, that's all that matters. That is all that
you ain't
matters.
Hear nothing from me. You're not hearing nothing.
Yo, Will is there. I'm not there. Will is there.
Yeah.
Don't you want to make your wife happy?
Oh, no, I'd love to make my wife happy.
What if your wife said, she wants you to watch her get piped down by two dudes and stuff? It'll bring her ultimate happiness.
Yeah, that'll bring me ultimate unhappiness.
I'm about to say, you're not willing to be Adam 22? Like, I don't understand.
No, Adam 22.
Adam 22 is out here tossing up the wife, and their bonds are probably growing by the day.
I'm not that type of man.
You're not that super Negro. Okay. Let's talk about Katt.
All right.
How do you view Katt Williams after the Club Shay Shay interview?
A comedian, first and foremost.
Okay.
That just told his truth in a comedic way. So what I mean by that is that some of the stuff I can see where he's coming from and kind of look at it as his truth. But again, him being the comedian that he is, I'm sure that there's stuff in there that he just threw in there to either make you laugh or to just add some oomph to the argument. When I seen the interview, it just gave me flashbacks of the Charleston White on okay, I can never remember the dude's name with the brim hat, the ex-football player.
Cam Newton
on Cam Newton's show, where both of them gave convincing arguments. And when I say convincing arguments, it's because a lot of the stuff that they're saying, we know is not far-fetched, right?
You see Katt and Charleston?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of stuff that they're saying, it's not far-fetched. And you do know things can happen just the way they said it happened. If it happened the way they said it happened is another question, right? But there was truth in there mixed with a lot of comedic value. But I thought the interview was good. With both of them, I found out stuff that I didn't know about them before that gave me a better appreciation for them. Like that whole bit when Katt was just saying like he would just send money to like comedians who just thought that were really talented, but we're not getting their just due.
Mm-hmm.
And he would just like send them money. You know what I mean? To just like help them on the way and shit like that. I was like, yo, that's dope. Like you don't find a lot of people who would do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he has, 8 kids, some of them are adopted. I'm like, yo, he gave 7 kids a chance that probably never had a chance before. Like, you don't find a lot of people out there doing that sort of stuff. So, amongst all the controversy stuff, just those little stuff in between that made me understand a little bit more about the man. I was like, yo, that's pretty dope.
Mm. For me, how I view Katt Williams now is I want to say I had mad respect for him before. I feel like it grew, like it multiplied probably by 10 because it comes back to money and integrity.
Right.
From what I've seen and from what I know and stuff about that Katt Williams and stuff, whatever, too, like even currently. So I look at it stuff as where the Monique thing.
Right.
I remember the Monique thing because it was kind of like around the beginning of the episodes as we start recording. And again, her beef was that Amy Schumer is making this much amount of grip over her.
Right.
But we gotta look at the body of work and the ticket sales that are sold before Netflix said they want to toss you a deal for this special or something like that. Right. She wants all of this for not doing anything like recent. And I look at this stuff as Katt and Chappelle, they haven't stopped.
No.
Right?
No.
Like I want to say when Chappelle took his hiatus and stuff and he came back, he hasn't stopped.
Right.
Katt didn't have a hiatus like that. I want to say he had stoppages between, let's say, more so the jail and the other situations going on with his life, but he's still doing the do.
Yeah.
So for him to get paid, let's say 2-point-something mil for his ticket sales and stuff, and that's the check that Netflix offered compared to Monique, I look at stuff as like, yo, you pay me for what I'm worth.
Right, right.
Could he sold out for a lot more other things and stuff? Absolutely. When he gave the story about the Friday stuff and everything like that,
yeah,
absolutely. I look at it stuff as about the storytelling aspect. I feel like he's just a naturally funny person.
Right.
So because you're a naturally funny person, like I want to say, I like to have fun.
Yeah, yeah.
When I'm talking about certain things and stuff, whatever, I like to make sure there's still kind of humor in the conversation.
Right.
So I look at it stuff as that if you took the whole conversation as a joke, then that's on you.
Right.
But I look at stuff as like, it wasn't a joke to me. It was just more like a break from the monotony.
Right, right.
So I look at it stuff like, I didn't take it like, oh, it's a comedian doing this, because I look at it stuff as where he made this platform. Like I want to say when Steve Harvey was on there, it didn't feel that intimate on there because I saw the Steve Harvey one, not the full way, but I want to say probably till 35 minutes of it.
Okay.
And it didn't feel warm.
Right.
Until he started talking about like women and all that type of stuff. And then it was like, all right, now this is feeling more of a one-on-one kind of vibe thing.
Right.
But everything felt more staged.
Right, right.
This didn't feel staged.
Nah, it felt vulnerable.
Yeah, it felt vulnerable.
Felt vulnerable.
So I look at it stuff as where this hit and that Shannon Sharp Club Shay Shay platform now is a different kind of landscape now.
Right.
Because of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like we were saying and stuff, whatever. How do you follow up? 29, like when I got to it and stuff, whatever, because I just saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
29 million views.
That's insane.
Less than a week.
That's insane.
In 2 days, it's 23 million views.
That's when you just think of the numbers.
Less than a week.
That is just insane. Like
there's look, there's music videos. There's music videos that'd be like 4 minutes. This is 2 hours and 45 minutes, or 2 hours and 46 minutes.
Right.
Of content.
Right.
You and I both chose at different times, and other people and stuff that I know chose at different times to ingest this content.
Right.
I don't like short form shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a clipper. Me and my boys, we call it the clippers.
The clippers?
They just want to like, they go by this one clip. Oh my God, yeah, it's the gospel. Yeah, it's the truth.
Yeah, yeah.
No, get the full content first.
Right.
Before you can speak on some shit.
Right.
I looked at this thing as I was like, yo, to the people that probably started up and said, fuck it, I still feel like there's still more people that went from start to end.
I feel so.
Because it was like a nonstop thing from this man's point of view, being vulnerable about blockages and all the above, and the peoples he called out and everything. It was entertaining.
It was
entertaining, but it was eye-opening where I look at stuff again. This is where the social media thing had people toss.
Mm.
Because they have social media, let's say the non-influencers or the fans feel like they're in that touch to reach out and touch the celebrity by going to them and stuff like, hey, when we know blue check verified people are in a different landscape and stuff as is.
Right.
So even if, say, Steve Harvey didn't see it, which I know he saw it. Yeah. I know all of them saw it.
All of them seen it.
But I look at it stuff as where we're looking like, this is where me, fanatic, not fan.
Yeah.
Fanatic is like, hey, Steve, he said something about this. What's your thoughts on it?
Right. Yeah.
What's your point of view on there?
Yeah.
And if you're not hearing crickets or you're not hearing no denying this shit,
well, that's
we
what I'm
said,
saying.
we majority, I want to say myself, when Diddy paid out Cassie,
right.
You're admitting.
That's how I felt.
So your silence is saying that you admitted.
That's how I felt.
So you're not saying anything and stuff to back up your credibility. Or now it's like, put up or shut up, though. Because I'm looking at him like, didn't really see Steve Harvey's movies.
I don't even think it was like 5 minutes in before Katt started firing.
No. Because Katt, he knew exactly what he was doing and stuff.
He came there for a mission.
It's okay. Do you feel like?
But okay, wait. Before you can go further, do you feel like there's anybody that might be able to follow up on Club Shay Shay after Katt? After what Katt did?
No, only somebody who's willing to be vulnerable, again,
right,
and reveal their truth.
Okay,
I would say Taraji, but Taraji's an actress. She cried somewhere else. Not saying those tears are fake.
Right,
We're not saying that nobody's tears are invalid. However, she is an actress.
Yes,
and actors and actresses have a way to convey, especially if they can do their job real damn good.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying her tears and stuff are not real, but it's just it's odd where, again, I was telling you, I don't feel sorry for people who, when we're living in times and stuff after like I'm gonna say it, after Lauryn Hill deal. We're in situations stuff where we know, damn, De La Soul got a fucked up deal.
Right.
Damn, P. Diddy gave these people's a fucked up deal.
Right.
Damn, Lauryn Hill got sauce with her deal. So if the goal now is to make this bread and not, like, you have examples, especially in the black culture, that these deals and stuff are like bad. Now, what I said is more music-wise.
Right.
But people like Viola Davis and everything is still out here doing grit and grind work from like Woman King to how to get away with murder, from TV, from small screen to silver screen.
Right.
Putting in that work. You got to know what you're going to do with this bread. And I like what Katt Williams said, because he said something to kind of shut me up.
Right.
He's like, yo, we can't depend on Tyler Perry. And I looked at it and stuff, it's like,
because we were, before that,
I was dependent on Tyler Perry, like, yo. But
we were saying that with Jonathan Majors, go over to Tyler Perry and see if he can resurrect you.
Throw you a lifeline and stuff. But I look at it and stuff, it's like, no, like, we can't keep looking at these people and stuff who are not putting on people.
Right.
I looked at like that for like the very longest when it came to Jay-Z. I got a love for Jay-Z, but I looked at it stuff as where, let's say he called himself the king and he's just off to the side and he's telling people like, yo, you want a feature? This amount of money.
Right.
This. And like, people are like, yo, we don't want to fuck with that king. Right? Okay. So give us something. Since you're so great, you should be able to throw us something great.
Yeah.
Ben Bleak wasn't it?
Yeah.
Beanie Siegel was working his way to and fro, but his bars was not as eloquently done like how Jay shit was done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gave us Cole at the end and stuff like that, and we were grateful for Cole because we still have Cole rocking.
Right.
We have Jay-Z to thank for Cole and stuff for that. But I'm looking at him like, the landscape wasn't friendly.
No, it wasn't.
Tyler Perry, I'm not shitting on Tyler Perry, but I will look at it stuff as like, who did Tyler Perry really put on? Like he said.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the only major actors that, we seen Tyler Perry movies were already doing stuff prior to those Tyler Perry movies. But to say, I know a break, like the dude who came out and said he was sexually harassed. I didn't even know he was in Tyler Perry flicks.
Now you walk past that guy like he in the mall, just like Katt said. That's my thing. My thing and stuff is that I don't know who Tyler Perry and stuff has put on. Like I look at Oprah put on
Gail.
Yeah, well, she in more ways than some.
She put on or she put in?
In more ways than some. You have Oprah putting on Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Oz.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Van Zett.
Okay.
And I feel like there's one more I'm missing. But again, these people who she put on.
Right.
Right? And I couldn't click in my head like, who are these people putting on? Because I feel like we know Katt has put on tons of comedians.
Right.
Right? And I look at it as where Einstein, I always butcher it, that one, but he's like, a life serving others is a life worth living. And I look at stuff as like, yo, if I'm nice with it, or I'm good, or I'm in a great position, why wouldn't I put you on?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I put you on and stuff like that? Or I look at it like, even if you're a complete stranger and stuff, convince me why I should put you on and stuff, right? Like I
Right.
look at it as stuff as where, if it's comedy wise, whatever, yo, this is your first time seeing me, or like if I'm Katt Williams and stuff, whatever, you got a quick 3 minutes with me. You better land your quickest and best joke or some shit like that in this time frame. Give me a reason why I should put you on.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there's countless amount of people and stuff that come from the TP world and stuff, and not really going on like that. It's not really going on and stuff like that. Because again, like you said, they've already been on before he decided to fuck with them.
You're right. And I mean, if you really if we really think about it, right? His biggest movies to date was the Medea line. And he's always played that character Medea. So he's always been the centerpiece of his own films.
You like seeing black men in dresses?
I like seeing black women in dresses.
Oh, okay. Huh?
And that pastor went off on him.
Oh.
And when he said it, I really thought about it. It's like, yeah, RuPaul wasn't the one that made us accept black men in dresses. It was Tyler Perry.
I see it, but I want to say Eddie.
Eddie
with Eddie Professor. When like you see Eddie, when Eddie wasn't Coming to America,
right?
The illest thing I liked was that Eddie played a white guy and nobody really paid him attention.
Yes,
and that was dope because he played multiple people and stuff.
Right.
And like in the Night Professor series, he played multiple people.
Right.
But I look at it stuff as they still put on the dress for the mom and the grandma.
Right.
Right. And I can't remember exactly and stuff, but I remember like in one of the Nutty Professors, there was like somebody where like they had their legs up. I think it was the mom or the granny or something like getting humped on. I know the granny had like a little bootleg nude part.
Yeah.
But I looked at it stuff as where that, like I wanted Katt, keep it a buck, talk about how he felt about Eddie.
About how he felt about Eddie.
About Eddie putting on a dress.
Right.
Right? Because he felt the type of way with Martin and told him to keep on the legacy and stuff. He's like, what we're not doing is that.
Right.
So I look at it as like, yeah, no. Katt spoke his truth.
He spoke his truth.
He spoke his truth. I feel like tons of people and stuff, they did not respond too much in a timely manner. And what do they really have to say to this moment? Like if you look at it now, like if people like Kevin Hart, if you're Kevin Hart, would you say anything?
Not if I still want to keep my brand.
Speak on that.
I think anything he says now, I mean, he did toss around a few jokes about the whole matter, but he didn't address whatever Katt said directly. And I think if he said anything, or if he addressed what Katt said directly, right? He would have had to deny everything Katt said. And then that might have left him open for any other thing that Katt might have followed up with.
So Steve Harvey shouldn't say anything either?
I don't think, at this point, I don't think he should say anything.
So Steve said Earthquake, Kevin Hart, yeah. Certain amount of people he was name dropping. Tiffany Haddish. He shouldn't say anything. He should just let it ride. That's what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. Unless you got the same type of love that Katt's got within the hood. Because like when I look at Steve Harvey, for one, I never really thought he was that funny.
Right.
Right? Even Kevin Hart. To me, Kevin Hart now is more of that Mr. Bean type comedian where you do silly shit and people are laughing at or with you because of more of the silly shit and not necessarily for the jokes. Right? if that is your case, then you got to continue on doing that silly shit and filling those roles,
which has he been doing?
What he's been doing.
Yeah.
So addressing Katt Williams at that point, it does nothing for your brand.
Gotcha. I get that. Yeah, I think certain things like let sleeping dogs lie, and then, but you're gonna have the people come at you.
Oh, 100%.
You're gonna, like I said, it's the social media thing that got them fucked up, thinking like them and the celebrities are like this, right? So eventually you're gonna see set people and stuff out in public and ask them some things, and there might be a phone out.
And what a lot of people don't understand is that Katt Williams is not the only comedian that's been saying this stuff. He's just one of the ones with a bigger profile that when he says it, it resonates.
Who's another comedian?
Well, Mark Curry's been saying it. There's another dude that I forget his name, but he said there's a clip where he said Katt called him and said he was about to rip the shit out of Cedric the Entertainer for doing the whole joke, the Cadillac joke, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I had to talk him down. He's like, he's in the barbershop. He's saying, no, I had to talk Katt down. I said, no, Katt, no, you can't look at it that way. Look at it more like he's paying an homage to you, right? And Katt was like, nigga, I'm glad you feel that way. Because right now he's doing one of your jokes.
You don't remember the person?
I don't remember the person. I gotta find the clip. But then they showed the clip of dude, and he was like, he done made some joke and he was dancing. And then they showed Cedric the Entertainer doing the same thing. So it's like, but then comedy is a tricky thing because you have a lot of comedians that will write for other comedians. So unless the comedian comes out and himself says, yo, that joke was stolen from me, it could have just been, I'm writing a set of jokes for this guy. Let me give him one of my bits.
I think those things would be authorized.
Right.
Because if they're authorized, then there's no beef.
Right.
Like if Katt Williams knew he was writing a thing for Cedric the Entertainer to use, I think this whole conversation is invalid. But that wasn't the case.
Invalid, right.
That wasn't the case in this situation. The situation and stuff is that they're legit taking jokes, claiming a fame to this, and then now here lies this interview, right?
Right.
Where I feel like they...
And he even said that he came on to set the record straight with the whole Ricky Smiley and the Friday stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think Ricky Smiley was ever supposed to be some kind of pimp. Because Ricky Smiley never really gave me like pimp vibes because the Steve Harvey thing was all gospel.
Right.
Type of church type of vibe. And then Ricky Smiley and stuff, he was doing his thing. But then I remember in the Comic View days, he was probably more free and raw.
Right.
But before he got on radio and stuff with Steve, like, it got cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it stuff as like, okay, and this is before set come up of like the casting for, was it Friday After Next?
Right.
Right? So, I'm not saying Ricky Smiley ain't funny. I just can't remember Ricky Smiley like joke in a bar. And that's what my thing is. Like, I'm like, sell me why, you know what I'm saying? I should rock with said person.
Right.
Like if I'm telling you like, oh, Joy Coy, I'm going to give you a Joy Coy joke about like when he's talking about with his son. He's like, oh, my son's half white and he's half Asian. He's like, damn, but dick's little. He said, that's not half Asian. You got it from my side. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can give you a bar. I can give you a joke that they said because it stood out to me.
But not only that, it's just like you're saying, like these guys are active on the circuit. You know what I mean? It's like they haven't paused to say, I'm going to step away and do TV shows. I'm going to step away.
Joy Coy used to be on with Chelsea Handler.
Yeah. But while he was on there, did he step away from the circuit?
He did for a little bit because like he had acting, like he had other acting opportunities and stuff that kind of came up. Okay. Right? And I look at it, the same thing with Chris Rock. When I heard that, I think it's a Comedy Cellar in New York.
Right.
They said Chris Rock is a regular there.
Right.
Because Chris Rock will go to New York. Like he lives in Jersey. Will go to New York, do his 1 and 2s and be like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me go try, do a little 1-2 and everything.
Right.
And I remember, I think it was him first somewhere saying like, yo, I feel like comedians need to get booed more. Because he's like, yo, I got a few boos and stuff like trying to do some other new shit, whatever. And they look at it like, or people not moving like that.
Right.
It's a thing to your ego because one set of group of people looking at you is like, you're this funny man. That's why they put you in this movie.
Right.
And other people looking at you was like, stick to the movies or the rivers in your lakes that you're used to.
Yeah.
So I look at it as like, yo, this interview, it shaped the landscape and stuff of where Club Shay Shay has to be a new place, stuff to set your truth.
Right.
Who the fuck is going to follow up after this?
It's a good question. That's a good question.
And they do not owe me any answers. I am nobody. Their audiences or their camps, if they mess with them and they ask them, they have to answer that. And the reason why I say they have to answer that stuff is like, again, sell me a dream why I should stay over here and be on your side.
Right.
Right? Like if the Jose Canseco, I knew Jose Canseco as that dude just be slapping the balls out of the park.
Right.
Out of the park. He was one type of built till he went to looking like a freaking Avenger. Okay?
He-Man.
And then when he was done, he snitching.
Yeah.
So I look at it and I was like, come on, Dad. We knew you were juicing that.
Right.
We knew you were juicing. But now I gotta look at stuff as like, tell me why I should still keep your baseball card. Just tell me.
Tell me.
Tell me.
Because now it's diminished in value.
Well, because I look at it stuff as like, if I'm your fan or you're like, yo, we tell our peoples and stuff for who listen to the podcast. We appreciate them. We're grateful for them.
Right.
They probably come for like either my nonsense, your wisdom, whatever they come for and stuff like that. So they're sold on it.
Right.
Now, if somebody comes and stuff to ask anything stuff about like pertaining to us and everything, and they come in our DMs, I'm not saying we have to address them all.
Right.
But if they're coming like in a collective for the same thing,
yeah,
why not? These are your people.
Especially if it's your truth and you own your truth. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, well, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
People don't own truths no more. They create their own realities.
That's what I'm saying, though. With some of these things that are being addressed,
yeah,
right? With the business that Katt put out there,
mm-hmm.
If you know he's owning his truth, and you really can't defend yourself against it, then don't come out and say anything.
Yeah. Unless
you can stand on your truth, then by all means defend your name and character.
Agreed. Yeah. That was a nice interview. I recommend a few people to take in the clips. And if the clips get you and stuff, whatever, go in for the full meal. Get the appetizers and then go in for the meal if you're okay with it.
Like this one post, this woman went through this whole tirade about, oh, he came to be Christian, this, that, and that third, and he's not moving Christian-like. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, and then the key thing I caught is, I watched 40 minutes of it and then turned it off. I'm like, well, then you missed the part when he said he denounced religion, where after his whole missionary thing with his parents, he wasn't feeling that. So, nah, I didn't catch one Christian vibe from this man.
I think it was dope. The whole Christian vibe and stuff about is when he told this about his pops.
Right.
And so that him and his pop stuff, like, you know, they were butting heads and going at it, and he had to dip out.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I was like, yeah, my house, my rules.
Yeah.
And he respected that.
Yeah.
And he went about his business. So I look at it, stuff was like, yeah, then somebody else is telling like, oh, he was with truck drivers and stuff. And I think that was a joke that the truck drivers would have molested or groped up a 13-year-old, like truck, like, you know, getting hitchhiking and shit because he made it. But I look at like, are they though? Because I look at it stuff as where you might run into some awful people.
Right.
And I feel like in the world back then, you ran into more wholesome people and stuff for there.
Yeah, I think so.
Ted Bundy was absolutely like back then and stuff for there confirmed. But I look at stuff as where right now it's a dog eat dog type of world. And I feel like there was more loving and stuff. So for a man to be 50 plus, and at that time it feels like 12, 11, I think he got the damn, where are you going?
Yeah.
It's all right.
What you doing outside of the road, kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere. I'm trying to get here. All right. I'm going to drop you off to the next town because I don't know the next person's not going to be wholesome like me that tries to pick you up.
That part. All right. Oh, I want to... And on this week's segment of women telling men how to be men.
We got another one?
Yeah.
And another one.
Do men want women with BBLs or natural bodies? A lot of women are saying BBLs.
I've always preferred a natural body. I'm not saying that a BBL is not eye-catching and won't catch my attention. But no, I like a woman who work for hers.
You never seen a BBL naked.
Yeah, never seen a BBL naked.
I think when you see a BBL naked,
It's a different story.
It's a different story. It looks like
Marv, doesn't sound like you're on the side of men either.
BBL. No, I'm saying BBLs. See, I think with the clothes and BBL, it looks nice.
Right.
When you're seeing a Frankenstein like botch work and stuff, I'm not saying like all of them are botched that I've seen.
Yeah.
But the incisions and the scarring and stuff like that, whatever. I seen a woman and stuff in one time in front of me, and I was like, oh shit, she got her tits done, whatever, right?
Right.
And then all I hear was like, TLC, you can buy hair and it won't grow. You can fix your nose if it says. I swear I'm just looking at all this, but me, my horny ass and stuff, whatever, I'm looking like, this is just a story to tell sometime later.
This is a story to tell sometime later.
Because I look at it stuff as like, I don't mind, like, I want to say, now I've seen some, you see, I call them the National Geographic titties.
Right.
The ones that look like just that, and they look like they got no action in there.
Yeah.
Like it's just like milk is just dried out and stuff, whatever.
Right.
I like saggy titties.
I have no problems with saggy titties.
I look at this stuff as like, I think saggy titties and stuff to me, and like we're talking about like where, what is it? They used to call it high heels. Is that what Jamaican people call it?
High heels.
High heel. Coming, my auntie's like, yo, boy, back in the days, I had some high heels, not have slippers. Whatever, right? And yo, you ever heard that? Yo, you never heard that?
No.
Oh, shit. I thought you
high heels versus the slippers.
Yeah, I remember my auntie said, yeah, she used to have high heels and now she has slippers and everything. And I look at it and stuff like, it's okay if you have slippers. You have the flippy floppies. It's okay.
Right.
Flippy floppies will slap me in my face if you're on top.
Okay, so you've been with somebody with work done.
Yes.
Okay, so I've never been with anybody who's had work done.
Mm.
Tell me, the feel, is it different?
So I've been with a woman that had the lipo.
Okay.
Because I feel like most of the belly buttons, I think they're just starting to master the belly button game. It's kind of like AI with the fingers.
Right.
They're just not getting it intact.
Yeah.
Because you're looking like, yo, something's not right about your stomach.
Why is it to the left?
Well, no, I just look at it. It's like super, super flat.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like you ate like 10 Big Macs, but it's super, super flat. And then like the belly button and stuff is like damn near missing. It's like everybody has a super innie like that, whatever.
Right.
Posturous.
Right.
Poppycock.
Right.
And then I seen women. So I've never been with somebody who had like the ass and stuff like fully done. Now the one woman I seen with the whole lipo, I guess she did do kind of like a BBL thing, but she did the shots.
Okay.
And they weren't the official shots.
Okay.
They were the
Cement?
ones. Possibly. Apparently she said it was like some oil work or whatever. It's like, I think castor oil or synthetic oil, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you got it done at somebody's spot, you know.
It's very questionable.
But at the time, because like I see all the videos and stuff, whatever, know like it damages the skin.
Right.
At the time, it was doing some justice.
It was good. It was good.
I was like, I probably got to it after she
I was about to
healed.
say she's early in the game.
I don't know where she is now, but
right.
May God be with her on her journey.
Right.
And the breast implant stuff, I seen two women. So I seen one that got cut here underneath, and I saw another woman that had them cut in the armpit.
Okay.
Right? And the armpit, they did saline. So they did it's like more of a saline more than a silicone action.
Right.
And the other one was silicone. They're just like slippers.
Right.
No, sorry. High heels. High heels. So I looked and I was like, damn. And depending on the position you're doing, it's just kind of freakish that you're not seeing
the
movement. Just the movement.
Right.
It's the movement. Because at first I thought it was just the me thing.
Yeah.
And then I think even that day or that night when I went home to my own domain and stuff, whatever, I actually looked at probably I went to a porn site to look at like big titty implant porn stars.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, it wasn't moving. It was just stationary. And it just was freakishly unreal to me.
Yeah.
So like it was kind of throwing off my stroke.
Right.
I was looking at him like not even.
I usually make them jiggle. Right.
Talk the things down.
You're right.
Yeah. No. I don't know. From a man's POV, another woman said men used to be obsessed with women. Were you obsessed with women before? Are you obsessed with your wife? Let's start with that.
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
What's I don't know. What does obsessed mean?
What do you mean that men you used to be obsessed with women?
So I guess what the woman was saying and stuff is that men now have come to a point where they're not doing everything for women no more. They're doing everything like more for themselves. When it's kind of like the power of the PUSSY. That's why dudes get haircuts and try to dress fly.
Yeah.
You ball that can afford it. Got the best ride.
Yeah.
Power of the PUSSY.
Right.
Now you're in a space where I feel like, let's say somebody is, I'm going to call out a name and stuff for that, Bando Kevo.
Okay.
Bando Kev, right? I look at stuff as like, Bad Man Kev, he got, I think he got he got his stomach done.
Okay.
Right? So he has I think this is all plastic surgery and he probably just might be workout to kind of maintain it and stuff like that. I know chicks fuck. I know this, and it's no shade, but there's some out of shape dudes still getting pussy out here.
Of course, yeah.
He has bread. He has bread. He has bands.
Yeah.
Chicks fuck anything with guys for bands. I just look at it like men. We fuck anything.
Mm-hmm.
Women. Some women won't pass up an opportunity for be like, I just gotta close my eyes and fake it till I make it to get these bands. Lil' Kim taught us. Bitches just get to the top.
Yeah.
So I look at stuff as like, you're still gonna get cooch unless you're doing this for yourself. And to go under the knife, I feel like that's kind of extreme. We talked about like the whole stilt surgery to get taller and everything like that.
Right.
You're doing that?
Nah.
With 50 bill? No, with 50 million?
Why?
Exactly. Stand on your money.
Yeah, exactly.
Stand on your money. Oh, you're a midget. Now see here, hooligan. That's what I'm saying. So I'm looking like, yeah, this is a different kind of dance where I do not feel that men really need to call themselves like, or women saying that men are obsessed, because the same men that were kind of quote unquote obsessed got two labels: stalker or simp.
Yeah.
So if a guy now, like we look at stuff as like, yo, it's not pimping, it's simping.
Right.
No one really wants to really be a simp.
No.
So they're going to dislocate themselves from that situation and stuff. So be like, oh, that woman's not feeling you. Oh, you trying to do the most with her? You simping? No. But before, I guess on her angle and stuff is like, you were obsessed. So looking like, I couldn't tell you if I was ever obsessed, but I looked at stuff as where, what's your definition of obsessed?
You see, I think that's where my definition was different. I think just maybe it's not obsessed. Maybe it's more attractive to a woman who looks good or who has a nice shape to her. And you're right. I wouldn't think that would be necessarily obsession, because I could also be attracted to a woman who's maybe not so shapely. And it might just be.
So your obsession is more aesthetic.
It would have been more aesthetic, because again, I can't look and see intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there's got to be something that draws me to you. Now, once you've drawn me to you, it's not always going to be the aesthetics that's going to keep me. I'll keep it 100. If you don't got a mind to go with that body, it might just be a hit and leave.
Okay. But so what's your definition of obsessed?
just always looking at women, just always have women on the mind.
Okay, so that works in the lateral. Always have men on the mind. Men or a man? Because you can be obsessed with one person, no?
You can be obsessed with one person.
See, my obsession and stuff is like different. I think my obsession is more pertaining to a person.
Okay.
And some R. Kelly shit, whatever. I know no people is controversial guy even said R. Kelly, but like I can't sleep, I can't think, I can't eat
right
without this person or something like that, whatever, right?
Right.
It gets kind of like dangerously stalkery, like, right?
Yeah.
It's a bad thing when R. Kelly says it because he's a bad person. Shame, shame.
Right.
But then it's okay when Beyonce said, I'm dangerously in love with you.
Right, yeah.
That sounds like an obsession to me.
That sounds like a...
dangerously in love with you. I was like,
sounds
wait, pardon?
Sounds like an obsession.
You might need a therapist, boo. So I look at it stuff as where there now for me is where I've never really been in that situation of probably infatuated.
Right.
But or probably was overfilling a person and stuff, but to say I can't function and stuff or like, do certain type of things, or like I look at it stuff as like at one time in my life, pussy was my navigation and now it's my destination, right? Like, and
right.
That's 2 Chainz. I heard say that. And I look at it stuff as where, yeah, I would do things to say, get this money. Once I got cash, maybe some women and stuff, some other women and stuff in different landscape will fuck me.
Right.
But then I looked at stuff and like, it takes a lot of cash to acquire all these type of women that just want to fuck you just for the cash.
Right.
Yeah, the cash that I make and stuff is good enough for me. But to now give it out to somebody I'm not going to keep for a long time?
No.
Next.
No.
So I just, that part. One day, I might be obsessed with a woman. One day. Stay tuned. Now let's get to the one more quick thing before we get into the phrase shit that we can slide. Jeffrey Epstein, the list. Why do you think they're taking so long to release the full list?
Well, to my understanding, what they did list was just a bunch of zip file links. So then now you gotta wait for people to go and open up those zip files.
Which people?
Whoever the snoops are gonna be to take the time to do all of that, because I don't got the time to do all of that. So
okay, the government released the zips to like randos? Like where did the government release these zips?
It's so whatever file they list,
who had this file before?
I'm not sure who had it before, but I have the link. So it's a government document, right? And then it'll say certain so and so, and then you'll see like a zip file link. And it's just that all the way through down the document. So now you gotta go through each zip file link, open up that zip file to see what name or whoever's connected with that zip file name. So for a while they were saying, let's just say, for instance, Bill Clinton was number 304. 304 would have been the zip, and anything that had the 304 zip would have been associated with Bill Clinton.
Gotcha.
So it's going to take somebody now some time to go through that entire list and open up those zip files and start associating the names with the zip files.
I just want to know who did the government release it to, because my thing and stuff is that they're like, we're going to release these names, and it's definitely a government situation and stuff, whatever. Like, did you make it public? Like, did they make it public domain?
Yeah, it's freedom of information. So it's pretty much public domain. If you want to go look it up, you can go look it up. But what I'm saying is, like I said, the link that I got it's just
jam-packed with
the list files. And then zip files. So now you got to go through one and open up the zip files.
No, the internet's easier than that, man. I feel like you just put a chirp out there, be like, yo, go on Reddit. Who got the Epstein list? If I won't be surprised if there'd be a Reddit subreddit on the Epstein list.
That's what I'm saying. There's some dude that has gone clickety clack and is saying
the same people that make these gift files. Same people make these gift files had time that day when they made that is the same people that have time to release this shit with simple, self-explanatory shit.
What do you think about the whole Stephen Hawking's?
Oh, the whole little people situation.
Right.
I don't know if I can believe that yet, because I look at it stuff. I'm not denying it and stuff, but because these people can do whatever the hell they choose. Is the movie called Calcutta? The one with like the whole orgy thing, like the devil kind of thing. Oh, I think I'm messing up the name.
Right.
But I look at it stuff as where if they're having this big ass kind of orgy parties, orgy kind of lifestyle and stuff, it's not far fetched that you'll see some weird shit.
It's not
that be
far-fetched.
off and stuff from there. But I look at it stuff as where would it make sense to drag a dead person's name now?
But okay, but this is what I'm saying, right? Because from the names that we have heard about, majority of them we already knew, right? The Bill Clinton, the Prince Andrew. So Alan Dershowitz was the lawyer that I was talking about the last time we were speaking, and not
No, last time we were speaking.
the last time we were talking about who would be on the list, and I was trying to remember the lawyer. It was Alan Dershowitz was the lawyer that I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
So those we knew of, right? And then like the surprise ones, like the Michael Jackson, because I didn't know if he was going to be on the list or not. I did say that there would be entertainers on the list. Michael Jackson, I didn't know about, and then the Stephen Hawking, I didn't know about. But these are two people who are dead and gone, and if they wanted to defend their name, cannot defend their name.
What's the point?
What's the point?
What's the point?
You can't now condemn them or do it. They're already dead and gone.
What's the point? Do you believe Jimmy Kimmel? His story about being alleged on the flight log from Aaron Rodgers?
I'd believe him more if I knew that there was 3 people that wasn't excused from the list. Because if you're one of those 3 people who've been excused from that list, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Yes. Very true. Very true. Because I know if I had to pay like a chunk of change to get off that list and I was on that list, and I was nervous before, it'd be like, whoo, you dirty whorebags.
Right?
I point at all you guys, whatever. Because I spilled the milk, but you're standing in it. Whoo. Yeah. Confirmed. All right. Let's just leave it like that then.
Leave it like that.
Question of the week. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Question of the week says, what's important to you? Like, what's important to me? What is important to you?
That I'm able to help others.
Some Katt Williams shit.
Yeah.
You see yourself in Katt Williams in this last interview?
And that's what I'm saying. Like some of the things that what he said, like I didn't know about him before, I admire because some of those things is how I feel.
That's dope. What is important to me is definitely, I want to say, I never really thought about impact and stuff like that before, but I realized the stuff that the things that we do day to day do create like this butterfly effect and this impact and stuff in the world.
Right.
So what's important to me and stuff is I want to make a proper, and I deem it proper meaning I'm not stepping over bodies or people in the process while I'm making an impact or doing what I do.
Right.
Because I feel like that'd be very disingenuous from everything, the morals and principles that I hold dear.
Yeah.
To actually like do that. So I move, I think twice before I do certain type of things and stuff and decisions now.
Okay.
Because I look at it stuff as where, like before, like my emotional intelligence was garbage.
Right.
But I've learned over the course of years and stuff for it to get better and have the ability to read the room a lot better.
Right.
So I don't want to do something to stuff like, say, for example, I was in conversation and stuff with some people, like podcast topic, you know me.
Yeah.
I go places and stuff and these things will come up. We're having a convo and stuff, and I wanted to include another person and stuff in there. They were all into the conversation,
okay,
but they weren't participating.
Okay.
So I wanted to include them and stuff, but then another person was saying like, oh, well, this person, the woman has been through some shit. She'll be able to speak on it. I don't know said woman.
Right.
And I was like, I caught it. Once I caught the temperature, like how it was moving.
Right.
So I was like, I wanted to let it be known that, we had these fire conversations like this on the podcast, but not to sacrifice her in the process. So I said, I'm like, baby girl, you don't know me.
Right.
You ain't got to share your story.
Yeah.
Not everybody's worthy of your story.
Right.
And I said it like that to kind of kill them trying to force
her into a
they
position.
can say their piece. Let them speak on themselves and be like, oh, she been through some shit. Let her tell you the shit she been in. No.
Nah. Yeah.
No. I'm like, and I'm not going to do that to prove a point that like I can have this fire convo with any and anybody.
Right.
So I'm like, no. And I think before I dip, she even like, thank you so much for that. She's like, yeah, I didn't think she was going to air me out like that.
Yeah.
And everything. So I was like, I'm like, no, I get it. I'm like, I just move at a change of pace and a lighter load and stuff for them in my world.
Right.
Where like I'm savoring moments and understanding things a lot different.
Right.
And I was like, your look and the body language you were giving, it wasn't giving. That's the sassiness. But it wasn't warm enough to say like, she can welcome this conversation.
Right.
It's the same thing. If we poll questions and stuff, there's tons of eyes you see that see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only a handful or collective will participate.
Right.
That's not my duty to go up there and stuff, go in their DM. Why didn't you saw it? Why didn't you? No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Nah, you know what? I would be the same way. Even if I knew somebody was in a particular position to speak on matters, I'm gonna leave it up to them. I'm gonna leave it up to them. I'm not gonna pull them out, because you're right. Some shit you may not want to talk about. You may not want to share with
everybody. World. Yeah, exactly. That and this is going back to like the Sean Strickland thing. Like I'm saying,
right?
Him opening up or him getting to that traumatic moment.
Yeah,
is like it could have been like a wrinkle in time, but this situation at that moment it made into a mountain from a molehill.
Right.
Because it can be like, yeah, my father and stuff, whatever, or my upbringing wasn't the greatest. On to the next.
Right.
But the trauma and everything and stuff there, and now I'm looking like, boss, not everybody needs to know your story to that detail and stuff, whatever. Not everybody's worthy of your story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this might have resulted in more clicks and views for the other person and stuff, whatever. But at your expense, and a lot of people don't like to be the butt of the jokes.
Right.
Like, I got thick skin. Right? So I look at it stuff as like, yeah, you say some things and stuff, whatever, to me, then it's okay. Like, I look at somebody with the Mike Shanahan, with the Shanahan?
Yeah.
When I was like, they're like, oh, look at that. You couldn't even get it right and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, a broken clock is at least right twice a day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so the one time, which I know the man, I can spell the man's name out, but it's just like, and just the fast, quick reference.
Right.
I always called him that, and I was used to it until like he retired.
Right.
Right? But they were harped on that me being wrong and stuff on that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, boo, it's okay. I'm not losing no sleep over it.
Nah,
I'll still call Mike Shanahan.
He'll never lose sleep over it. And that's why I made such a play.
Yeah,
I was like, yo, this shit is funny, but I know Bob ain't gonna care about it.
I'm not in my bag. I'm not in my feelings. I'm not camping. I'm not in my bag.
It's funny because it reminds me of that whole thing what Katt was saying with the Wanda interview.
Yeah.
When like she was like, okay, we're not going to talk about this. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about this. Then they get on air, and then she starts talking about the same things that says she wasn't going to talk about. Mm-hmm. So he roasted her.
Mm-hmm. And she couldn't handle it. That part. Let's get to Ask the Sons. Oh, you're ready?
I'm ready.
First Ask the Sons. So it comes from Afraid Adam. What is the weirdest thing you heard in a funeral?
So, when the pastors always, they always give that little setup speech at the end for you to give your life over before it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
The one funeral, it threw me back when the pastor asked.
At my father's funeral?
Yes.
Boss, I thought about that shit when I saw this question.
It threw me back when the pastor asked, who's next to go? I was like,
too soon.
I was like, what?
Too soon. Shout out to Mike. Mike's like, you're next to go. Yeah. Because I'm there. I'm in mourning. It's my father died. I was like, damn. Shit, this is the last time I'm gonna see my father, because like There's oh my gosh, I heard it. There's a song I love. It's from Jay Electronica and Jay-Z's on it.
Yeah.
He's like, I got numbers in my phone that would never ping again.
Mm.
And then and it's like, was my father's thing and stuff, whatever,
Right.
too, right?
Right.
So meanwhile, I keep drying my tears through all of this and stuff, and he's giving his little Jerry Springer final thought. I'm in there and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna say? Yo, I looked up, I had the shades on, I looked up, I was like, this boy is wild. I'm glad we talking about the same damn incident. God bless you right there.
That I was like, that is wild.
Who's next to go?
Who's next to go?
Turn your life over to God.
Not even like we don't know, because usually the setup is we don't know when our time is called.
Yeah.
Right? So it's best to be prepared for that moment. Nah, he went a step ahead. He's like, yo, who's next to go?
Yo, before I went to way back when, I think it's not in 2000, before the 2010s.
Right.
I went to a funeral for a kid. I don't really go to too many kids' funerals. I stopped going to kids' funerals and stuff, whatever. I said that, touch wood.
Right.
Like, I hope I don't have to ever go to a kid funeral again.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for me to kind of deal, whatever, right? Kid passed. Pastor start this shit off and stuff, whatever. He's like, when I heard such and such pass, I had a smile on my face. No, why? Why? A child coffin is in front of you. Why do you have a smile on your face?
I had a smile
The setup was fucked. Like we're saying with the pastor at my father's funeral.
Right.
The setup was fucked. Because I looked at stuff, I was like, he's like, yeah, no kid should suffer. Don't leave with that, my guy. My guy. My man. My Yoski broski.
Yeah. You led wrong. You led wrong. You led wrong.
Oh my gosh.
That was a wild moment.
That was a wild day.
That was a wild day.
I don't have I can't make this shit up. This shit that happens in my life. I'm glad you guys are. I'm always glad when these things happen.
Right.
And I'm looking like, I try to look at other people like, did you see this shit?
Yeah.
God bless. Next question comes from Go to Sleep. What's something you don't agree with but understand why people think that way?
Jesus was born on December 25th.
Ooh, talk about it. When was he born?
Sorry?
When was he officially born?
I don't know when he was officially born. Nobody knows when he's officially born.
But we just picked the 25th?
But people just picked the December 25th. And partly due because it was already celebrated. Like, people already had that time of a celebration. Like, and I keep throwing the fact that Constantine, who conquered, right? He said he conquered in the name of Christ. And before we had Roman Catholicism, they had their own mythology that they went by, and they celebrated. They had this event called Saturnalia,
Okay,
right? And that event, they celebrated the god of Saturn. Or Saturn was a god, right? So they celebrated him. It was like a new moon festival, not a new moon festival, but like a winter solstice festival, where it's like the changing of the seasons. We're bringing in new fruits. The trees are going to start to come back to life. So we're celebrating that, right? And that was celebrated almost like 300, 400 years prior to they made it a Christian holiday. And one of Constantine's things was like, I'm now converting my Romans into the belief of Christ. That's where we got the Roman Catholicism for.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people weren't rocking with it. So to make it easier for them, they was like, okay, well, we'll just keep the saints the same days of the celebrations that we already celebrated, right? To make it much more easier. So I can see why people celebrate December 25th, but there's no mention of this date in the book.
I think for me, I am gonna say religion, but I look at it stuff as where, like, there's some things. Wait, hold on, what's the question now? What are some things you don't agree with, but understand why people think that way? So I don't really agree with certain things stuff in the Christianity faith,
Right.
but I can see why people have an issue and stuff with it, right?
Right.
Like I look at it stuff as where the walking on water aspect when it comes to Jesus.
Right.
Right. Now I've been to Wasaga Beach before and like, yo, there's some spots in there, some deep and some high shit.
Yeah.
And look like you could be busting a Jesus move and
Like,
stuff.
you go on the
From
water?
a distance. You're like, shoreline is here, you're way over there, and you're looking like, smooth, really? Walks, you know, you're just doing your thing and stuff, whatever, out there. And there's certain things where, yeah, like I don't really jive with, but people look like, nah, man, you can't mess with my Lord out here walking on water. You're not believing in my God and everything. So like, no, I'm not saying that, but I'm like, just one person in the history of man
walked on water.
Just one person. Like the ones and stuff that I'm seeing in Japan doing a ninja run and stuff over the water.
Yeah.
They still got a little, little something to get them a little, you know, a little something.
Yeah. They're skipping on the
They're skipping on something. But I'm looking like, it wasn't like, yo, oh, he looked out and he saw Jesus out there hollering where we won't stop.
Right.
Right. So I'm like, all right, this is you guys. Like, you know, whatevs. But then people tell me the stories about the Old Testament just for reference and like his story thing where we're supposed to go by the New Testament. So I can see why a lot of people don't jive with specific religions.
Right.
Right. The last one comes from PAC-Mane.
PAC-Mane?
Have you been sexually assaulted by a woman? And then the follow-up question is, what happened?
Ooh. I don't know if I've ever told this story on the podcast before.
This is not a safe space, but you can start.
But
hold on, let me get my Barbara Walters pose. R.I.P. Barbara.
Barbara Walters pose on?
Tell us what happened.
So it was me and two other friends were at a club, right? And we were just standing and just
wait. I have questions in between this.
Yeah.
Were you scantily dressed? Because just because you look like a hoe, that don't make you a hoe.
I feel like I was dressed a conservative.
Oh, okay, all right,
I
cool
feel
things.
like, you know what I mean?
Cool
like
things.
I didn't want the attention.
Okay, so you had your button up that high. It wasn't showing.
Yeah,
cleavage.
I wasn't showing.
It wasn't a Michael Jackson V-neck. It comes out the belly button.
Okay, the pants was kind of baggy. It was during the baggy pants era. Okay, it wasn't even like the skinny jeans type.
Okay, so she's probably like, damn, look at that print. I'm sorry, as you were.
So we're standing up, and it's like maybe like, let's say the dance floor was in front of us, so we're there watching the dance floor, right? Out of nowhere, I felt somebody start grinding on my ass.
Okay.
As I see the stunned and weird, perplexed look on your face.
Yes, but I'm here for you. I'm reading the room.
I felt somebody grind on my ass, and
we're talking about a Pretty Ricky grind with me, or we're talking about R. Kelly bumping and grinding?
We're talking about a soca fete run up and bubble on somebody from behind. Grind.
I'm sorry for laughing at your trauma time.
And I was so freaked out because the first thing I thought, and forgive me for saying this, but the first thing I thought was, this could be a man trying something behind me.
Whoa. Those times back then wasn't that open. As free as they are now. I understand it. You don't have to, you're not considered homophobic. You were just looking for your safety.
Right. And then when I turned around and I seen it was like this girl and her friend was beside her, and they're like, so I was like, I honestly felt violated. I had this weird feeling.
You had guys around you, no? So you said the guys?
Yeah, there's a dude on this side and the dude stand on and like.
And these are your peoples?
Yeah, these are my peoples.
And what did they say to the grind?
They looked at me like, what the fuck just happened?
Sounds about Marv. I'm going to ask that question too.
When I look back.
You're like, oh, this is what you like?
And And then she laughed, she smiled with me, and then I just the uncomfortableness, I kind of just laughed and smiled it off too.
Oh
right?
shit! So you were straight victimized.
But I really felt awkward in that moment. I was like, yo,
Damn,
that
big
shit
homie.
was like, yo, it made me feel so weird and uncomfortable. And for that moment, I was like, shit, this is how some women really feel.
Wow.
When it happens to them.
That's very unfortunate because like I want to say we do take men like sexual assault cases lightly.
Yeah.
I think, and that's the way how the world kind of, or the Western world kind of just made it seem like, and these things do happen to men.
Right.
Hell, I saw like, I knew somebody and stuff got it like more or like in a wilder way and stuff compared to myself.
Right.
So the dude, for me, okay, so my situation and stuff, whatever, like I have several, but I look at it stuff as where one that sticks out is that I was legit minding my business and stuff and I fell asleep on a bus, right?
Okay.
So I was on the bus and I kind of just dozed off and stuff. I seen like people and stuff around. And then I guess, how old was I? It's been like 15, 16? Like 15, 16, I was still catching the bus stuff, whatever like that and stuff. And these girls were on the bus and they were standing.
Right.
And because I was damn near asleep and stuff, whatever, girls threw the cooch on my face. And she threw it like on like my cheek area, some shit like that, whatever, right? So say I'm just there and I kind of dozed off and I'm like in the back of the bus like this.
Yeah.
I felt like touched my face and then like I see the chick like holding on to like the
bar?
Yeah, the bar.
I don't mean to laugh. Why are we laughing at each other? Why are we laughing at each other's face?
And then she dumped on me. Like she's like, yeah, get this pussy in your face. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I didn't consent to this. And then like the three other girls that laughing and stuff, whatever.
No, women. Now, why are y'all laughing at this? Is two stories where the women were laughing at us.
Yo, I was looking at stuff. I was like, the hell? So I was like, I think I wrote it for like one more stop and I got off the bus for that. And they all like, bye. And they all loud and belligerent. I was a real rapist. Bye.
Wow.
Bye. I was like, and they're laughing and chuckling and stuff. And I was like, fuck ass girl. Hopefully she don't got no damn kind of STDs. She just
right.
her damn nasty cooch damn near my face.
Yeah.
So I look at it stuff as like, yeah, these things and stuff are legit. Now, one dude now, your guy was high or drunk or something like that out of his mind.
Yeah.
Right? And he was just like on the curb. So he took photos and stuff of dude and everything like, because at first, it's like in a club district and stuff, whatever. I know the spot where I'm in it, but I know like, you know, certain streets and stuff in the club district and stuff is like one way. So I think Richmond is going one way and I think Adelaide is going another way. So whatever one that's running eastbound, like towards the east, we're there and they're there, they're taking photos of the guy and stuff asleep. One bold one decided to just unbuckle his pants and pull out his dick. And then they proceeded to take photos. So I'm like, yo, the man's asleep, man. Come on and stuff for that. And they just like cackled it off and just walked away and left him with his dick out. Like he's KO'd and his dick's just out there and stuff like that. I was like, I went to the hot dog stand. I was like, not too far from there. And I was like, yo, he's like, these girls, they drunk. They lose their mind. I was like, I just threw some napkins and stuff like kind of over his crotch area and everything. I was like,
yeah.
I'm not about to go tuck another man's dick right back in his pants.
Right.
That's a no-go for me.
No. Next thing you know, you're on camera.
Could you imagine? Hey, yo, Mar, you out here touching dicks in the open? No, it's not like that.
It's not like that.
It's not like that.
Yeah. Sure, buddy.
Sure, buddy. You were touching a buddy. Sure. No. But I was looking at I'm like, damn, that is fucked.
Yeah,
I was like, why do you find that this is funny?
Yeah.
So, because I know if it was in reverse.
Oh, hell no.
All right. Say less. We are here. Yeah.
We're here.
Free flowing and going. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Associated Sons this week says, if you can't teach your own family, then you shouldn't try to teach the world. So say
says
the
the sons.
sons.
Talk about it.
I always feel like there's tons of times where a lot of people give these values. Like I said, these junk values and stuff out here.
Right.
And I'm not saying all of them are junk. Some of them might be gold. Broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah.
However, if the people around you aren't buying your Kool-Aid, why should I buy your Kool-Aid?
Right.
And I look at it that like even with our podcast and stuff, I look at it stuff as where I have close friends that fuck with my business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't support it because it's just me, but they already have the conversations or debates. And that's the main thing I want and stuff from our brand.
Right.
We have a So Say the Sons page on Instagram.
Right.
More so, but it has a Facebook tag and stuff to it. And it's just our words.
Just that's all.
And people and stuff just flow and go and stuff with that. And the same people and stuff that we, quote unquote, let's say, might be family or friends and stuff in close proximity.
Right.
I know for a fact if I throw it in my story, I can't say about you, but if I throw it in my story and stuff, whatever, and I tag it from that page,
yeah,
they liking that shit.
Yeah.
And if I even have a simple conversation with them and stuff, I'm like, yo, the biggest mistake is the teacher. They're like, yo, I felt that.
Yeah.
So if I'm not getting my people and stuff close proximity to teach a lesson to, I shouldn't expect the rest of the world to fuck with it. If your people's around you can't buy your Kool-Aid or drink your Kool-Aid,
yeah,
why do you think everybody else should?
Yeah.
So say the sons.
It's so funny because even the So Says the Sons, like I make it a habit to throw it up on in my stories. So when I get tagged in it, I just like I'll throw it up in the stories, and yeah, my people will rock with it, but more so because you know how these things work. The more people like it, the more it kind of tends to go further through the algorithms. And I'll see, perfectly strangers just liking the shit. Like
yeah, some verified people and all that type of stuff.
I'm like, oh, this is dope. Not only my people's liking it, but it's being extended now, right? And but it's exactly what you're saying.
Reach one, teach one, man. Reach one, teach one.
I get it.
So say the sons.
So says the sons.
We are here. We came. We saw. We conquered. Shout out to everybody who's been rocking with the year in the beginning. I'm not intentional, but R.I.P. to the student that lost their life in the shooting.
Yes,
a lot of people have confronted me and said, "Oh, you just talked about school shootings and like gun laws and gun control, and another one popped off." I don't have a goat mouth like how Jamaican people will call it. I just know that if something's not fixed, eventually it will spring a leak again.
It'll spring a leak again.
So that part. So, but on a happy note, once again, thank you for listening to Podical Sons. Like, comment, subscribe, all of the above.
All of that.
And remember, the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Peace and love, you guys.
Peace.
Arrivederci.
The Podical Sons with Not Your Average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.